Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are unlocking something that honestly affects every single one of us. You know that tiny 40-second window every morning that quietly decides your entire day? Your alarm goes off, your eyes open in the dark, and before you even have a single conscious thought, some part of your brain has already run the numbers. It calculates the cold floor, the long day ahead, that really hard project you swore you'd finally start today, and it decides to just hit snooze before you are even fully conscious. It's wild, right? You basically end up losing a fight you were never even awake for. There's a real raw empathy in that, isn't there? You fall back asleep, telling yourself you'll totally make up for it later. But then, inevitably, right around noon, the guilt arrives. You realize your traditional self-discipline methods have failed you again. You might even go read a new article on self-discipline, write out a brand new plan with significantly cleaner handwriting to really show you mean business this time. And hey, for about 3 days, it works. Until, well, it doesn't. And that leads us directly to the incredibly painful question we all end up asking ourselves at some point. What is wrong with me? Look, I really want to validate that frustration right now. If you're going through this, you are not soft, you are not lazy, and the answer is absolutely not a lack of willpower. Okay, let's dive into this because the science completely shatters the willpower myth. Most people will tell you that discipline is all about forcing yourself to do things you absolutely hate. But back in 2012, psychologists Wilhelm Hoffman and Roy Baumeister ran this fascinating study. They randomly interrupted people throughout their day to ask what they were craving and what they were resisting. Now, if discipline was just raw willpower, the most disciplined people should have been the ones resisting the hardest, right? But they found the exact opposite. Highly disciplined people are actually not better at forcing themselves to do things. The findings were just incredible. The people who scored the absolute highest in self-control reported much weaker desires, way less inner conflict, and less resistance overall. As the researchers noted, and I love this quote, they weren't winning the fight, they were somehow never in it. That completely proves that gritting your teeth, pushing, and just white-knuckling a task is entirely the wrong game. So what game are they actually playing? Well, they're playing the game of neurological conditioning. In a 1992 paper, researcher Robert Eisenberger introduced a concept called learned industriousness, and the core definition here changes everything. Effort isn't just a decision, it is an actual physical sensation. Think of that tightness right behind your eyes or the heavy feeling in your chest right before a hard task. Because effort is a sensation, it can be conditioned and trained, exactly like a taste or a smell. When effort is repeatedly followed by a reward, that heaviness actually stops registering as pain. It literally turns into a signal that something good is coming. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how that mechanism works in your brain. We can look at neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz's research from the 1990s on dopamine, which is our brain's main reward chemical. At first, dopamine fires the exact moment a reward arrives. But as you learn that a specific cue always precedes the reward, the dopamine burst actually moves backward in time. It leaves the prize and attaches itself to whatever reliably predicts the prize. Which brings us to the pretty-harsh reality of our daily lives. Why does picking up your phone give you an immediate hit of dopamine before you've even unlocked the screen? Because picking up the phone reliably predicts a good feeling and instant relief. Now, contrast that with the utter dread of opening your notebook or starting a tough project. What does that reliably predict? For most of us, it only predicts strain, self-criticism, and discovering exactly how far behind we really are. You don't have a discipline problem, my friend. You have a prediction problem. So, where on earth did we get these bad predictions? Usually, it goes right back to our childhood conditioning. Think about what actually got you praised growing up. It was the A on the report card, the shiny trophy, the finished project. Nobody threw a party for the 3 weeks of ugly, boring, unglamorous effort it took to get there. It's a cruel irony, really. Our nervous systems learned a very reasonable but damaging lesson. Effort is just an unpleasant tax you have to pay at the gate. And as adults, we honestly only make it worse. Think about the very last time you forced yourself through a miserable, white-knuckled work session. It almost certainly ended with an exhausted, defeated internal monologue, right? Something like, that was awful, I barely got anything done, I'm so far behind. Tomorrow, I need to do twice this. You just close your laptop feeling completely drained. But here is the absolute cruelest part of this whole cycle. By forcing yourself through a terrible session and ending on a note of self-punishment, you are actually training your brain to file the sensation of effort directly alongside punishment. You are actively carving a deeper aversion to the work. The harder you force it, the more reps you do of the exact wrong thing. So the crucial point is, we have to rewrite this prediction algorithm. We simply can't think or motivate our way into this. We have to condition our way into it. And luckily, there are 5 specific fixes to do exactly that. Let's start with rule number 1. Pay the effort, not the outcome. The truth is, outcomes are terrible teachers. They are way too slow, totally unreliable, and mostly outside of your control anyway. If you wait for the finished product to finally feel good, your brain doesn't connect the reward to the effort you exerted today. Instead, you need to unconditionally reward the effort itself and do it immediately. The exact second you finish a work session, mark a tick box, or literally say out loud, "I showed up." You have to fire that reward within seconds of the effort, unconditionally pairing the physical sensation of work with an immediate win. Moving right along to our second fix, which is all about strategic placement. Rule number 2, move the reward to the doorway of the hard thing instead of the exit. Since we know dopamine migrates backward, you need to deliberately place something incredibly good at the entrance. In a brilliant 2014 study out of Wharton, researcher Catherine Milkman gave people these gripping audiobooks. But there was a catch: they were exclusively allowed to listen to them at the gym. Guess what happened? Gym attendance jumped dramatically. Why? Because people were literally sweating on the treadmill just to find out who the killer was in their mystery novel. The gripping reward was placed right at the entry of the hard task. The workout became the only place that good thing lived. So drink your favorite expensive coffee only when you sit down to write. Make the reward exclusive to the doorway. Rule number 3 directly addresses how your brain perceives the size of the mountain in front of you. Shrink the entry until refusing is just downright absurd. See, your brain doesn't actually resist the work itself. It resists the anticipated size of the work. If you put "write the chapter" on your to-do list, it triggers a massive flinch. But write one sentence? There is zero dread there. A 2010 habit study from University College London proved that automaticity comes purely from repetition, not intensity. Repeating insultingly small entry points, like just writing one single sentence or doing 2 minutes of work, is literally the only currency your nervous system accepts to build a lasting habit. Now for rule 4. This one is great because it takes the pressure entirely off your willpower in the heat of the moment. Design the room, not your resolve. Remember those highly disciplined students from the Hoffman study earlier? They weren't magically resisting temptation all day long. They simply encountered fewer temptations on purpose. You must set up your environment when you are calm to save your tired 11 p.m. self from ever having to win a fight. Put your phone in another room. Lay your workout clothes out the night before. Delete the distraction apps rather than trying to power through and resist them. Design the room so doing the right thing is simply the path of least resistance. And finally, we reach rule number 5. It is the smallest of the rules, but I'd argue it's the absolute most powerful way to hack your conditioning. Never end on failure. The final 30 seconds of any session are the exact records your brain files away to predict tomorrow's session. If you close your laptop mid-paragraph while you're spiraling in self-doubt, or if you quit a workout on a failed rep, your brain records the wreckage. Instead, you must deliberately stop on an easy, clean win. Finish one small task perfectly and just stop while it still feels good. You want your brain to record a positive prediction for tomorrow, ending on a high note instead of a miserable spiral. Let's move to and see how this builds. Because when you stack these 5 rules together, you create a totally new reality. Now, I want to be completely honest with you and set realistic expectations here. Hard things stay hard. The actual difficulty of the work remains, Heavy is still heavy, but what changes is so beautiful. That exhausting 40-second daily morning negotiation at the alarm clock finally disappears. The internal courtroom that convenes every single time you sit down to work goes completely quiet. Over a century ago, the pioneering psychologist William James wrote that the whole point of education is to make our nervous system our ally instead of our enemy. It is such a profound philosophy, isn't it? You don't need to declare war on yourself every single morning. I want to sincerely remind you of something right now. You were never broken. You were just trained by a flawed system that only ever applauded outcomes. Your conditioning was backward, and that means you can absolutely be reconditioned. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, vital question to really reflect on today. Take a look at your own habits. Of these 5 rules, paying the effort, moving the reward to the doorway, shrinking the entry, designing the room, or never ending on failure, which of the 5 rules is your missing piece? Pick the one that resonates the most, take immediate action on it today, and start tricking your brain into craving the discipline you have always deserved.